Good.
All right.
Wait for us here. All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into NASCAR by the Numbers. I'm here, Will Richard, with NASCAR Opinion, as you see. There we go. Right side of the screen. Then we got our guy Armany over here in Florida, right there. Live weather forecast for us here. We gonna get you racing today?
Well, as your local meteorologist, I'll tell you this: it's South Florida. Sunshine State is a lie. It's raining right now. I would be very surprised if we do not have some sort of showers today. I was surprised we didn't get any showers yesterday for the Xfinity race.
Right. Yeah. I was so out of the loop yesterday with how busy, so I had to work my actual job from 8 to 12 in the morning. Then I was going to come home and relax, but then I've got some family from out of town. They wanted to see me, so I went and did that for an hour and a half or so. And then by the time I got back to the house, it was time to head to the dirt track I work at on Saturday night. So it was pretty packed. I didn't get to see any racing yesterday. There's actually, I think, an Xfinity race about to come on now. I may throw that on my phone while we're here, put it kind of mute, so if anything major happens, we can look at it there. If they're going to run, obviously I have no clue what the weather at the track right now. I have those weekends where I'm so out of whack with racing. Some weekends it's like they're even a race. But I heard there were some pretty decent races yesterday. I know Sheldon Creed decided to hit the barrels at the end of pit road at some point, so that's always exciting when that happens. And I heard the Xfinity race was apparently a really good race. I know your boy Junebug got a top 5 finish.
Hell yeah.
Said it might be his last race there. So I guess we could talk about that for just a second. What do you think about Junior? Do you want to see him keep running? I've never been a big Junior guy. I really like him now, though, cast and stuff. I think it'd be really cool to see him stick around. And he always actually runs fairly well. I mean, he could wind up winning one of these things one of these days.
I remember when at the beginning of the season, so I was debating if I wanted to go to either Sebring or Homestead. Homestead just so I could see Junior race again. Obviously, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Junior is gonna just miraculously say, "Okay, I think Junior. I think he will do one more race in 2021, and I think if he does, he'll mark it as like, okay, this is like my final NASCAR race."
Right, you're right. I don't know if Junior ever wants to say it's the last, but he did say there was a chance that yesterday was. I was kind of surprised he just wants to run that one race. It just would have made logistical sense to go ahead and run both of them here at Homestead, but I know that's also driver obligations and stuff. But I like Junior. He runs well, brings a ton of buzz to the track whenever he's there. So, really happy to see him.
So it was a very, there wasn't a lot of action up front, but you had like a lot of shuffling. You also had a lot of comers and goers, and I think that had a lot to do with obviously the track changing because it didn't start exactly at nighttime. It started near sunset, then it got into nighttime. You also had, that new tire, which I think this probably might be the race where tires meant the most at Martinsville. I don't think I've seen tires mean more in Martinsville than in ever.
One time I could think about tires meaning more, it was I can't remember what year it was, but Denny Hamlin literally restarted 7th with like 3 to go and came to the lead because he was the first car with new tires. But that was years ago. It's weird. I think I knew I was going to do this myself. I knew I would, for my own expectations, I would be disappointed with the race just because – that third stage was really – they were just racing. You know what I mean? There wasn't any bumping. There wasn't any banging. There wasn't yellows. And it doesn't always take that for a race. But what really made that race was the first stage. That first stage – I don't know if I've ever seen a first stage. I don't know if I've ever seen a race start out that way. When literally the guys who started on the front row go a lap down in the first stage. I mean, that was wild. I'm talking – and not even just the first stage. Like the first 60 laps, they were a lap down. You know how bad you have to be to go from starting first or second to being a lap down in 60 laps at Martinsville?
Well, we saw a couple drivers were able to overcome that. I mean, obviously, we saw one of the talking points of the race was just how the Toyotas were just non-existent. I think for most of the race, like there was only one Toyota into the top 20, and that was Truex. And Truex was really the only one to actually, overcome that. I mean, Kyle Busch was 2 laps down. Hamlin, your pick, was 2 laps down. And then Truex, he was about a lap down most of the race, but in the final stage, I think it might have been from I heard on the broadcast where they cut that portion out of the tire that made it look like Dale Jr. 2005, where they said that might have actually helped with the cooling of the brakes. So that actually could have given them an advantage to be able to go and take the lead and just because again, it was weird because you never saw the leader get, even like in last year's package, where like everyone said it was inferior to this one. You never saw the leader truly got away. I mean, you saw it in the closing laps of the spring race where Chase Elliott was like just chasing down Kozlowski, and even in the playoff race, William Byron was chasing down Truex towards the end. So you never really saw it get to like 5-6 second gaps like we did on Wednesday.
Yeah, and it was, I think at one point Truex was the highest Toyota in like 16th. And then, I mean, look at Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney had to feel like he had to pass 1,000 cars Wednesday. I mean, Blaney at one point again starts on the front row, goes all the way to like mid pack, gets lap, comes back, runs all the way back up front. I think at one point has a penalty, falls back to like 16th or 17th, comes back to the front again, finishes like second, I believe. So, Blaney had a heck of a car. That was pretty cool. There was a lot of comers and goers like that. I did never seen a first stage start. I mean, I remember looking at that race and we were all thinking, what the hell is going on? Like, this is the wildest first stage I remember in a long, long, long time, especially at a place like Martinsville. But that made it fun.
Obviously, the second stage was my favorite.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, Jimmy found a way to lead laps and tease everybody. Dude, he is getting so great at teasing. Like, he'll come up the first half of the race, you're like, oh, Jimmy Jam's here, baby. The 48 is back. No, he ain't.
I'm not gonna lie. That late, I was more focused at like the final like 10 laps on if Bubba Wallace was gonna pass it for a top 10 than Truex actually winning. I was like, Truex wins. I just want Jimmy to stay in front of Bubba. I want a top 10.
So, obviously, me and you enjoy watching racing, but I've heard a little buzz and rumor that you could be doing watching here shortly. What kind of deal you got going on? Heard you could be going racing here soon.
So, let's just say putting a little team together, me and a couple family members, and yeah, look, in about a couple months, I might be joining the SCCA. For those who don't know, Sports Car Club of America, joining the Spec Miata series. I've been talking about it we've been playing this for a couple months. And like got some information. In a couple weeks, I should be buying the Spec Miata race car down here. In August, I should be heading up to Daytona to actually get my racing license. I'll actually be able to race on the Daytona International Speedway. Obviously, it's going to be the road course.
That'd be pretty cool. I got to come down there and take some laps.
So yeah,
Daytona.
So yeah, co-host of the NASCAR by the numbers. Going to be race car driver. Yeah, going to be driving the number. Got a couple numbers in mind. I was thinking one number I wanted to pick. I was even talking to William about this, but we chose the number 72 for two reasons. Number one, 24 plus 48. We had a different number when we thought about that, but we're not going to talk about it. Let's just say we're stupid. Let's just say we're stupid.
It's as bad as it took us like 24 hours to figure it out.
Literally, I was at the gym, and I tell my buddy this, and he's like, you mean 72? I'm like, what are you talking about? He shows me the calculator. The first thing is I text you, and I'm just like, we're stupid.
48 plus 24 is not 74, folks.
Oh, it's not.
We were convinced.
Don't need to meet Lisa. Don't need to meet Mike Carmen at Applebee's now.
But yeah, 72. What else you got thinking about?
Yeah, so number 72, and so 24 plus 48. I mean, Dale Jr. is my favorite driver, but it's like Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson are like second and third. So 24 plus 48, 72. So and number two, I want a number that I could stick with throughout my entire career. Like I don't want to be like, no offense to William Byron, but I want to have to like jump into someone else's number. I want okay, this is my number, this is my legacy. Whether I set the world on fire, I run like mid pack my entire career. Hey, at least it's my number. And on top of that, the Miata spec class, I talked to my buddy on the inside of the SCCA. He told me if I can master Mazda Miata spec racing, I'm going to be unstoppable because those things are damn hard to drive.
Well, good. I wish you the best. Hopefully I get to be a part of this team eventually down the road when it's big time. We're battling at the 24 hours of Daytona. But,
hey, you're designing the helmet, so in a way you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun to watch. Yeah, they're showing highlights. Apparently, Chase Briscoe lost ballast yesterday, which they just showed it on the camera. So he just got that Denny Hamlin fine again, or not fine, a suspension. But, yeah, he's green here. Good.
That's one thing I want to talk about. I read it. Chase Briscoe went from being 7 laps down to finishing on the lead lap in 7.
Yeah, I'm assuming there had to be a bunch of yellows. Like I said, I didn't get to watch any of it. I heard it was a great race, but I heard that multiple times about how he was able to come from that many laps down. And I think they have to run their same cars today, so maybe he's got a little piece on him. But I guess that kind of naturally rolls into Homestead. Obviously, we're at Homestead this week. Xfinity doubleheader is finishing up today. They're about to start their second race of the weekend. And obviously, we got the Cup race later today. Now, like I said, you're down there. I know right now the Xfinity race, it looks clear. So how far are you from Homestead from where you're living now?
I'm about an hour away from Homestead. So, I mean,
the racetrack is absolutely beautiful right this second. But I know that can change in a heartbeat. I heard right now it's okay, but I heard the Cup race could be a little bit of a suspicion if it's going to happen today. But, you know, one thing is we really haven't seen a Cup Homestead race. We've never seen a Cup Homestead race this type of weather with temperatures like this. And obviously we don't know how the package is going to affect it. The Xfinity race was stellar last year. The Cup race, me and you were both at the Cup race last year for the finale. And we were the only ones disappointed with what happened. I don't think there was one yellow for incident the entire day. I think it was single car file pretty much the entire day. And so it's really intriguing if it's just the package or if, you know, maybe the weather could change some things. Do you expect anything different from Homestead today with it being a little bit warmer out there, a little bit slicker?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more slipping and sliding. You know, I mean, starting at 3:30, I don't think we're going to see as many yellows this time because, you know, you don't want that championship weight on the shoulders. Obviously, with this package, I think this is going to be very similar to. This might be very similar more to Darlington in the first race back at Darlington. You know, but instead, you know, you're going to have more multiple grooves. Weather-wise, obviously, it's going to be really hot unless it starts getting cloudy, which right now, it's decently cloudy with a couple rain clouds here and there. So, like I said, I think we're going to see multiple grooves, you know, like usual. But it's going to be very similar to Darlington. I think, you know, you're going to have your similar drivers, you know, here and there, like your Harvicks, your Truexes, your Kyle Bushes. They're going to be all up front.
Yeah, it's probably going to be your same cast of characters. You know, I mean, you were both looking at who we're going to pick. I have my pick, but it's just kind of a gut pick. It's not really my whole day has been, you know, I sat there and didn't get home until 2 o'clock and then actually slept for the first time ever until 10, which is very rare for me. So today's been a weird day. I got up, did my race report, and then here we are talking. So, you know, I think I've got who I've got to win today. But it's very intriguing, you know, to look at what we could get today or tomorrow whenever they race, because we're used to November, which don't get me wrong, Florida's never cool as a cucumber. But in November, what is it? Probably 70, 75 instead of 90, 95 down there?
More like 79 to 85.
That's too hot. I'm glad I don't live there. When November is 80 degrees, I'm good.
Hey, and this year in December, it was like in the 90s in December.
What's the temperature around like a day like today, like 95?
Right now it's 83 degrees, but it's kind of cloudy, so give or take.
So pretty much don't ever predict Florida weather is what you learn from all of this.
Yeah, don't predict Florida weather. Predicting you got a better shot at winning the lottery.
Well, let's get straight into it. Do you have a pick today? Do you have a feeling today? Who are you feeling special about today? Do you think, you know, who do you think is going to stroll into victory lane this afternoon, assuming we get the race in today?
I kind of want – okay, I got two picks, and I'm kind of debating on which one I want to pick. So, you know what? I was going to go with the easy pick, but you know what? Because, you know, this is me we're talking about. I mean, we're in damn Brandon Jones hat. I'm going to go a little bit of a wild card here. I'm going to go two-time back. I'm going to go with two-time back-to-back Xfinity champ Tyler Reddick.
Woo! I do like Reddick. Reddick is intriguing, but I did. Door Bumper Clear mentioned something this week that is a little bit different. So the last 2 years, Xfinity Series, I believe they've had the composite bodies. And so Reddick's able to run that high line and make a couple of mistakes because that body's not going to get hurt. With this sheet metal, you can't do that. So that's my only concern, but I think he will be fast, and the package is different. So, I mean, it's a different dynamic. You can run the wall, obviously, but it's just not the same as running the wall in the Xfinity car. But I am intrigued to see. I do think that's a quality betting pick because I imagine his odds are fairly decent for what for what the ceiling could be for his performance. I mean, we've seen him win this race the last 2 years. Or did he win it? Did he also won the race his first championship? Didn't he?
He won in 2018, 2019. Yeah,
Well, I know he won both. I can't remember. Did he win both actual races? I know last year he won.
Yeah, he won both. Yeah, he won in 2018. Remember, Reddick only won the season opener and the season finale in 2018.
Both in Florida. Yeah. So that'll be intriguing. I think Reddick's a high quality betting pick. And actually, Xfinity's going green right now. So just a heads up there. Myatt Snyder in a Ryan Seed car is on the pole. So I forgot they did the invert. But anyways, so I think that'll be a quality pick. My guy, and now this guy, real underdog pick here. No one would ever see this coming. He's only a 2-time Cup Series champion. I'm going to go with a race today. I think this is a race that Kyle Busch can win. Obviously, he won there in November. Man, you saw him pretty much seem like he flat out just dominated the darn thing. And it's just Kyle Busch has been kind of quiet this year. And this is one of those races where you feel like there's not a favorite because we have never been to Homestead in this temperatures ever, or this early in the season. I can't say temperatures because, like you said, today really the temperature's not that far off. We don't really know much with the package, so we can only go off what we know. And that's Kyle Busch won with this package last year. He hasn't won yet in 2020 in the Cup Series. So if he could just quit speeding on pit road, I think Kyle Busch will be the winner today of what is it the Dixie Vodka 400?
Yep, Dixie Vodka 400.
So weird not saying the Ford EcoBoost 400. That's awkward. But anyways, new sponsor, new time of year, same old winner, Kyle Busch.
What about any dark horses? What do you think?
My dark horse would have been Reddick, but you picked him as a freaking favorite. So that to me, he's more of a dark horse because I just still don't think they have the car to win. So my dark horse is Armani's favorite, which is going to be Tyler Reddick. I'm trying to think if anybody else sticks to mind because Larson's not in the field. Greg Biffle's not in the field. So I'm not sure. I think I'll stick with Reddick as my dark horse. I feel like, me and you've discussed it. I just don't know if the cars are there. The talent's there. Just don't know if the car's there.
I got a dark horse in mind. I'll go with another rookie. I'll go with Cole Custer because besides Reddick, he's really been the only one in the Xfinity Series that actually is really damn good at Homestead. I mean, I think it was 2018 before his crew chief botched the strategy. He led the most laps. He pretty much dominated the race, but his crew chief botched the strategy, and that cost him the 2018 championship. So I wouldn't be – and, Custer's finished runner-up in the standings. Obviously, he's finished runner-up in both races in 2018 and 2019. So I guess he could pick Christopher Bell because he's a dirt racer, but Christopher Bell seems to be the only dirt racer I've seen that just isn't really good at Homestead. I mean, yeah, he was good last year, but that's really only he wasn't really flashing trucks at Homestead. He wasn't really flashing his rookie season in Xfinity. So I think my dark horse is going to be Cole Custer. So I got a pair of rookies. That's my favorite.
Another guy to watch out for is Truex. Truex is really good here. And remember last year they were up front before they put the tires on the wrong freaking side. And then what else was it also? I mean, Truex is just when that night they tend to find every year when they finally win, they win again. It's like, okay, with Truex and them are back, are they going to finally win again? So I think, that team's always a big momentum team. When you start seeing them have success, they tend to have success and keep success. So I think Truex could also be on the upswing. That's a lot of confidence for the new crew chief this year for Truex and the team. So I think you could potentially see Truex in victory lane as well. And obviously not a dark horse, but I'm going to still roll with Kyle Busch. So I've got Busch and Truex only taking combined 3 NASCAR Cup Series championships. And Armani's going with Cole Custer and Tyler Reddick, who have a combined like 18 starts at the Cup. Or no, it's more now because they both started at least 11 this year, 22. We'll go 30 starts in the Cup Series combined. So good job, Armani. We'll see how that pans out for you.
Yeah, and all my luck, they'll both DNF.
So, all right. You got anything else for us?
I got nothing else. Just hopefully Reddick does a crash.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully, I really would like to see them have a good day. I mean, you want to see guys like that have a good day that aren't normally up front. So I think it'd be really cool to see Reddick.
I was originally going to pick Harvick because I know Harvick's average finish at Homestead is like 6 point something. He has like 8 straight top 5s or something. But I was like, you know what? Harvick's a boring pick. I already picked him at Atlanta, and I got it right. So let me go with Reddick. I haven't had a wild card pick in a while.
You have a wild pick like every other week. Front row
What do
Joe
you
Jr.,
mean?
baby. Front row Joe Jr., baby.
Hey, listen. He's only won like 21st in points.
Is
He
he?
got that far off. He's only like 20 or 21st.
I think Austin Dillon's like 14th in points.
No, Austin Dillon's like 17th because of his run at Martinsville. He was 14th.
He may have fell backwards. Benedetto, I think, is in the top 15.
Yeah, top 15 is like Johnson, De Benedetto. I think De Benedetto is exactly – he's either 13th or 15th, one or the other.
And Chase Briscoe to the lead at Homestead in the Xfinity race. So, anyways, We'll get out of here. We'll let everybody go watch that Xfinity race. I'm going to go turn the Xfinity race on. Armany's going to turn on work because that's what he's got to do next. And,
no, I got to do this McDonald's.
Turn on the McDonald's first, supporting Bubba Wallace over there. And then he'll go to work. I'll sit back and enjoy the Xfinity's race. I only got to work 3 days this week, and then I'm going to be off for the weekend. So, there we go. We'll see you next time. See you next week. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit more next time. Like I said, today has been so impromptu to what I am used to. It's been so out of whack. I haven't woke up this late or been this out of whack in a while. So we're going to be coming at you next week. Probably get you some. I'll probably have you an actual underdog pick. I mean, I'm going with Tyler Reddick, Armany's favorite. Armany's rolling with rookies at this point, so I don't really know what's going on in his mind. So other than that, we will see you. Other than that, we will see you next week. Thanks for watching.